As you were saying, we're in the bottom right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. You may have known him previously as a Zerg player, but he is fully committed now. He is on that Terran train. He is the red Terran player representing himself from Taiwan, Lemon.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player. He is blue, representing his brand new team, Prep Esports. And there is no surprise that this man is proxying across the map. It is Haas.
Well, I'm glad that he was able to answer my question for me. I was going to go into the whole spiel. Are we going to see the current Haas who's super greedy? Or do we have the Haas of old coming out? And thankfully, I didn't even have to ask that. Haas, I like your initiative. We are getting that Haas of old.
Yeah, Old Man Haas is coming out here with this proxy gateway, not proxy Stargate's Void Ray Shield Battery, which we do see quite commonly on Lightshade. So he is mixing things up here with a different form of aggression. Meanwhile, our eyes are on Lemon. Will he go across the map with his SCV? Will he rely on a Reaper Scout instead? Goes for Marine first?
Oh no. Wow.
No.
Now, if you made a pros and cons list, on the one hand, I want to say, well, at least he has a Marine. On the other hand, what is a Marine going to do in the defense here? Exactly.
The problem is that because he's skipping the Reaper, he doesn't know that he needs to be defensive. He doesn't know that this natural base is not going to finish. As the Zealots are on the way.
Doesn't even have the time to throw down a bunker.
Yeah, exactly. I do love the secondary wall, by the way, because the pylon is going to finish up, so we do have a depot behind this as well. There we go. Bunker is on the way. The Zealots have revealed themselves.
Yeah, not going to go for the delay on the low ground, going straight to tackle this add-on. Bunker is on the way, but again, there's only one Marine in... There's only one Marine out right now, and there's not going to be too many Marines in production later on. You cannot repair an add-on as it's building.
No, you cannot.
You can body block with SCVs.
Yeah, now the Zealots are getting up and they're breaking through the wall of SCVs. There's a pylon on the high ground anyway to provide high ground vision, as now Stalkers are on the way. There was a Cybercore that was thrown down behind this. Nice repair or nice wall around this bunker, but man, he just goes for the mineral line.
Yeah, Haas has already gotten the initial... Haas has already broken through what seems to be the hardest part of breaking through into the Terran main base. He's getting so many SCVs. The SCVs are actually doing a really good job of just body blocking the Zealots and getting their health low. Hasn't lost too many.
Yeah, I was about to say that that was some great micro there by Lemon. Haas, he was trying to get in between the mineral lines. He was trying to wall off, but with the mineral walking, Lemon was able to find a way through. And again, he gets another surround of the Stalker. Oh my god.
Wow, with only one SCV going down, 2 Marines as well, but definitely... Marines are definitely a lot cheaper than Stalkers are.
SCVs?
We'll see how much longer Haas is able to keep this up, though. Every single Marine gets taken out, and that is going to be it. Haas takes a very quick game, number 1.
Exactly, he just overwhelmed him. Even though we had a CC on the way as well on the low ground, that didn't matter. The Marine count just never got high enough, and that's what we were kind of worried about, because again, it took a long time for Lemon to really realize what was going on. Oh god.
Indeed it was. And now, we're gonna get ready for game number 2, which, no surprise, this is gonna be Haas's pick, Romanticide.
Yeah, it is going to be Romanticide, no boy.
This is a map where we should be seeing the newer, younger Haas. If you catch me.
Yeah. Again, Haas, that's what's scary about him nowadays in 2021, is that he's a player who can do so much. He doesn't just have to be a cheesy player that we all know him for. He can be a macro focus as well, hyper macro focused.
No, it is nice when we see him cheesing quite a bit.
It is nice. Oh, I mean, now nice we'll see later on.
Well, yeah. I don't think we're casting nice today, actually.
We are not. Unfortunately. As we are going to be diving into game number 2 here in this series. Hopefully a bit of a longer one, as it does kind of tend to lean towards that style here in our second map.
Preferably a bit of a longer one. The last thing we want is for this series to end, and then have to wait a long time for our losers for elimination match. Oh, for the opponent for our elimination match. That's let's go into that as we load onto Romanticide. Ellie, we're in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner. We, of course, have our red Terran player, not a red Zerg player, coming down from the land of Taiwan. He is pretty zesty. He is representing himself, Lemon.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the man himself, the man of the hour, the Taiwanese Protoss player representing Prep Esports. It is Haas.
Oh boy.
As this time, the initial pylon and gateway are at home for Haas.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Somewhat surprisingly, he is setting up a wall in the natural base. Not looking to wall up those Reaper ramps, but I suppose Haas has a little bit of an idea of how Lemon likes to play. Maybe Lemon consistently skips on to Reaper.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't be opposed to that here in this game, to be honest. Like, obviously, there's always a risk involved in that. You know, you're giving up your certain advantages like scouting information and map control to be a little bit more greedy and preserve your gas. But we'll see as, yeah, once again, Marine first.
There we go. Well, I suppose that does lend itself pretty well into a bit of an earlier push, especially if you decide to go for something tank-focused. 3 racks also wouldn't be out of the question right now for Lemon, but it looks like he just wants to Marine expand for the time being.
Exactly, as Haas was being as annoying as possible, delaying that natural base as much as he could with that probe. To have our add-ons on the way. Again, Lemon just relying on this lone Reaper to hold the line for the time being. And Haas is free to take another base.
Just like so.
Yeah. And
continue to be annoying with this probe, though.
I'm really curious to see how this turns out, by the way, just because, again, I want to see that more modern era Haas, as he's being a little bit cheeky here, sneaking in that probe. Oh my god.
You can definitely get away with that on Romanticide. Once you get a throw down.
Exactly. Could throw down a pylon just to warp in the face of his opponent. We do have a Twilight Council behind this here for Haas.
Twilight Council first. I like it. See, sends that slow zealot across the map all the way for the main base. SCV continues to build the bunker, but will get taken out thanks to this adept. I say will get taken out. There we go.
Oh no. Oh mate.
Oh,
everything is falling apart here for Lemon as everything gets delayed or denied. The bunker and CC still don't finish. SCV comes down to low ground, but it's gonna be focused down again by the adept.
Yeah, even if an SCV is able to sneak its way past and get the bunker up, I don't think Haas is going to allow any of these units to pass the Adept. Now the Zealot falls and the Adept will shortly after. So at least Lemon gets himself some breathing room. Surprisingly, despite not going for the Reaper first, when he goes for his... when he does go for his reactor, yeah, he goes double Reaper.
Yeah. Interesting way to make up for it. It does mean a delayed scout happens, but the one plus side is that he still has those Reapers, so he will be able to sneak into the main base or try to and scout the incoming tech. Oh my god.
Oh, not quite enough. One more volley would have taken out that Reaper and completely blinded Lemon. But now he sees that Dark Shrine on the way.
Exactly. Beautifully done here by Lemon because of his opener. Sure, it was a rough start, and sure, he's down in workers because his CC was delayed time and time again. Damage was dealt, by the way, by Haas, but at least Lemon was able to scout the follow-up Dark Shrine, and he shouldn't die to it.
Well, he's getting the E-base, so missile turrets will provide some detection, but
yeah,
the OCTs are gonna be across the map a lot quicker than I think Lemon realizes.
Well, the question is, what hits first? Because the NG Bay just finished up, we need that missile turret ASAP. Meanwhile, Lemon still hasn't seen it. It is gonna be a slow warp in. Dark Shrine still not done.
Yeah, that missile turret is gonna be finished up.
Yeah.
Haas being fairly conservative. I say that as he gets a second DT, but I suppose he can still try to split up. No, actually he can't because of the body blocking the Marines. Now he can! Now there's an opening for him to sneak out the second DT.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, the ramp is covered by the missile turret, and there we go. We do see the Marines moving on forward. The pylon will finally be dealt with. It was cheeky of Haas to sneak this in, and at least the DT is still allowed. No, never mind.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it looked like Lemon hasn't realized there was a second DT there, but he did. Yeah. He was just waiting for another scan.
Exactly. So it all gets cleaned up. Feels bad, man. At least a couple of scans were utilized. But again, like, that goes to show how important it was for Lemon to scout that, because that was a very tight timing for Haas to dive in with those DTs as soon as that Dark Shrine finished. Would have been devastating. Uh-oh.
Speaking of devastating, this one DT is going to be chipping away at the Marine Force. This was a bit of a 3-Rex follow-up coming up from Lemon, so he is going to hit with Stim and with Combat Shield. Yeah. We have seen in the past that sometimes DTs are all you need to hold against this. DTs and very well-placed shield batteries, and it looks like this is going to be a similar case.
I mean, this one DT got how many kills? 3 Marines, and forcing a Stim, forcing some more dead Marines as well. Like, this was a nice follow-up by Haas. The DT is still going ham, by the way. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to die either. Okay, there we go. But still a little bit of a... I mean, I don't want to call it a wasted scan, because at least 3 Marines are able to make it out, and if that DT was dealt with, all of these Marines would be taken out. But again, devastating losses from our Red Terran player. Very nice blink control from Haas as well. That was probably the other thing that really made the trade. That really took that engagement from an even trade to a favorable trade for Haas.
Yeah, and I'm really worried for Lemon. Like, he's trying to do so much without starports. Finally, the add-ons are going to finish up so he can get some medevacs, but he's going for another Marine run by here to hit that third base. Maybe he can get some damage here. His defenses at home are weakened, but obviously Haas isn't being aggressive. He's just working on his macro. Gateways are finally finishing up here for Haas. This is what we know him for. Just mass gateway, mass charge, or just gateway units in general. But, ooh, the Marines do get spotted.
Yeah, they do. Trusty old spotter zealots. Immediate evacuation on the third base. He knows there's no way he can save those probes if the Marines got on top of them, but he can still save the third base if the zealots come in time. And they do.
Oh my god, and Haas is setting up a surround. The Stalkers are coming in to intercept these Marines. Nice blink as well. Not a single Stalker has gone down yet.
Ooh. Blinks right on top of that ramp and will be able to take out these Marines. Pretty good stutter stepping from Lemon. For a while anyway, but then it looked like he was tunnel visioning a little bit too much on weakened stalkers that were pulled back. Bit too much of an A move there, and again, another very, very favorable trade from Haas.
Yeah, only losing a single stalker for every single one of those Marines. As we look, 8 Marines there. I guess 2 Zealots as well, but that is kind of negligible. And now Lemon is working on the next push, but the problem with this push is that 25 Marines have died this game, and they didn't deal any economic damage. Imagine if this push was coming out with those 25 Marines.
Yeah, imagine if they were either added to this push, or this push was coming out while those 25 Marines were harassing somewhere else on the map. Damage would have been guaranteed, but now it's less of a certainty here for Lemon. I do like that he's going for some mine drops. It's one way of getting back economically without committing too many resources, but if Haas is on top of his reactions, which he usually is, it can also be just a straight out wasted couple of resources.
Exactly. What I am a little bit concerned about is, as I quickly check, okay, Haas has 1 observer and it is across the map. Armory just finished up for this Widow Mine drop, so detection will be needed to deal with these Widow Mines. So Haas, these bases are so vulnerable, damage may be done. At the same time though, Haas is moving out with his massive army.
I don't want to call it a base trade, but may as well be. One probe getting some getting some very nice probe damage on the low ground. It's from the high ground in the main base. Haas cornering out an observer now.
That he is at the same time. We do have a drop. We do have a drop into the main base. The War Prism does sneak in. Zealots are going to be dealing some equalizing damage here to the economy of Lemon. Meanwhile, at the same time, we have some tri-pronged attack going on here. Haas, he's pushing in with his main army.
Is this T-Bull?
Oh my god.
Because it definitely feels like massive. Because it definitely feels like a lot of our Protoss players are going for big multi-prog attacks. This particular front, not working out too well for Haas, but the harassment damage has been dealt and is continuing to be dealt.
Mate, the Ghost Academy. No! He was targeting down the Ghost Academy, but instead he went for the Marines. Oh my god, it is on fire, but will it burn down? I don't know, mate. At least more workers went down. Meanwhile, there's Widow Mines. They got more shots off this one here above the the mineral line has not been taken out.
There's no high ground vision, is there?
No, there is not. Oh, and Haas doesn't realize.
There isn't any high ground vision.
Yeah. He doesn't realize. He does have cannons in each of his mineral lines, but it looks like another shot will go off. So Lemon, like these Widow Mines are kind of keeping him in this. Kind of.
Quick question. So what? That's what I have to say. Haas has 81 workers. He's ahead so much. 3 probes get taken out there. Haas is still ahead. He still has 2 more bases, and 2 more bases worth of workers too.
Exactly, that's the problem here, right? Like, even though Lemon is dealing economic damage, like, he's still so far behind when it comes to the workers. When it comes to the bases, at least he was able to hold on to that Ghost Academy. But you know,
he doesn't have any ghosts.
He doesn't. Oh no.
Well, I still kind of like Lemon's army here. He's got a lot of Marauders and enough Marines to really deal with those Zealots, but positioning is going to be very, very key here. He cannot afford to lose every single one of his Marines to this Colossus, which is a very real possibility if Lemon allows his Marines to get a little too close. Another big run by of Zealots make its way forward, catches so many of these reinforcements, and now Lemon has to fight with a much weaker army against Haas and his defenses. Well, I say defenses, but there's defensive structures.
Well, I mean, there's a choke point and 2 Colossus, and that's going to be enough for Haas to hold on. Meanwhile, that Zealot run by, it isn't just intercepting reinforcements. He killed all the ghosts that were coming out. He got in 16 more SCVs. Like, this Zealot run by has gotten out of control with the weapons, with the reinforcements from that Warpism.
He reinforces the entire army to be pulled back. The Warpism finally gets dealt with, and the Zealots will eventually get dealt with too, but Haas is already across the map with the rest of his army. Doesn't want to push up that ramp.
Exactly.
But he can definitely afford to wait to allow Lemon to get into him. He doesn't even need to do that.